Alright, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to give you a full guide for playing Rauora in Rainbow Six Siege. I still don't know how to say the name, so if I'm saying it wrong, don't cook us in the comments. But it's the newest attacker that came out in Siege in the recent season, and in this video, I'm going to give you a full guide for playing her. So let's start off straight away with the loadout. The first thing we're going to talk about is the main guns that I like to use for her, and that is the 417. I don't really use the M249 with her, however, I do like that as a gun, but I use that on like Capitao rather than her. Anyways, so I like to use the 417, the DMR, and I use this personally I like the magnified aid hollow, so I use that. I use the muzzle brake, the vert grip, and the laser as well. I don't have the laser on for some reason, but yeah, so that's what I like to run as the main gun. And then for the secondary, I always run the Reaper MK2, even though it's got a bit of a kick to it, but it's just a nice pistol to use, and I prefer it over the GSH. So I use that with a compensator as well, because generally when I'm using that gun I'm spraying with it, so the compensator does well for us. Also as well, when it comes to the secondary gadget, some people like to run breaches. However, personally, because the way that I like to play Rauora, I play with smoke grenades, so if you want to play it how I play it, then bring smoke grenades. Okay, so when she was first announced, a lot of people were saying like, okay, let's use her as like a flank holder, use the gates behind you, and then it'll cover your back and you can hear them when they get open, etc. But the thing is, what you'll notice is when you shoot them, and when they actually open up, they're quite quiet. So if you put them quite far away on the flank, like I'm going to show you now what it sounds like that, it's not really that loud. And if there's a lot of gunfire going off or stuff happening within the round, then it's going to be like easy to miss. So I tend to not use her as a flank holder. Generally, if I'm going to put one on the flank, it'll be on like a really close flank where I can definitely hear it, but at that point you're like risking not hearing the sound cue. So what I like to do is use her as more of an execute operator, where when you're going to execute on a site, you'll use the doors when you're jumping in or when you're pushing in to block off angles so you can get that plant down. The reason why this is good is because it takes a few seconds for the door to be able to be shot once you've opened it. Like while it's closing, it can't be opened, and then once it's closed, it takes a second for the gate thing to open. So this gives you a little bit of like extra seconds or extra like couple milliseconds to get in and get the plant down. So I'll show you an example now. This is also why I bring the smoke grenades as well, because you can smoke off angles to help you get the doors down easier. So what I'll do is let's say I'm attacking Jim. So boom, we're attacking Jim. We're trying to plant in Jim right now. I'll close off the door and I'll smoke the rotate hole off, or any holes. Like I'll just throw a couple of smokes in there as well. And then once I'm in there, I can block off the construction door with the gates as well. So I'll show you an example now of what this would look like. So first of all, we'll close the door. Then I would throw a smoke there. And then just in case there's any holes, I would throw another smoke like that. And then I would jump in. But as you can see, it takes a second for the door to actually be shot. So in that time, even though I threw 2 smoke grenades, I've jumped in and then I've got to a plant position here. In that time, it still wasn't able to be shot, so I could start planting, then it's able to be opened, and at that point you'll have people covering it for you. So it makes plants so easy to get off. And then also you can play the game of like shooting it back to stop it. Some things to note with that though is that they can be destroyed, like they can be destroyed by explosives, so C4s, impact grenades. They can even be destroyed by teammate gadgets like, nades obviously, and even things like thermite charges or breaching charges can destroy them as well if they're close enough. Like hypothetically, if I put a breaching charge on this wall there's a chance it blows up the gate. So just be wary of stuff like that. But the main thing I want you to take away from this is to use her as an execute operator rather than a flank holding operator. Because also right now I'm going to show you a really cool trick with Rauora that makes the doors somewhat indestructible. So let's say I want to block off a doorway with Rauora. The main downside is that obviously they can get open from both sides, so the enemies can just open the door and push through. But if you use this trick, they actually can't get opened. So all you need to do is put a drone close to the doorway like that. And then while this drone's alive, you're able to do this trick. And then once you shoot the doorway down, you'll see it doesn't fully close because there's a drone there. So yes, they can probably prone and get a little bit of an angle underneath it, but they also can't open it. So if you're safe from the prone angle, then the door's just indestructible. And that's from both sides as well. I can't get around to show you, but the door cannot be opened from either side right now because the drone's there. However, if I move the drone away, then obviously it can get opened. Another cool thing you can do is use this, but use it with Another cool thing to do is to use this, but use it with claymores as well, and put a claymore underneath it, and then you can have like a claymore that works like that. But one thing to note though, if you move the drone away and take it back, as you can see, the gate thing is still here, so you can still open it while the drone's there. Like if it's already open, if the gate's already closed, like the door's already down, and then you move the drone away and put it back, then you can just shoot it open. But if you open the door then close it again, then it goes back like this again. So just keep that in mind. Another thing as well, when it comes to the operator loadout, like the guns that you're using, make sure you can actually use the guns. So like, let's say you want to use this submachine pistol, however you're not good at control and recoil, then I wouldn't use it. Like the recoil on this does have a bit of a kick, as you can see it is kicking quite a bit, but if you're not able to control it, then don't try, because it has a high recoil. So don't put yourself in a disadvantage of trying to use this gun when it's got high recoil, when you can use other guns that have like more controllable recoil like the GSA. But anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.